Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for coming tonight. Though most of you know who I am, I do see a few new faces with us this evening, so let me introduce myself. My name is Brian Swift, Athletic Director here at Warrensville Heights High School. And this evening, I will be discussing with you all the team that is Warrensville Heights Athletics and the Athletic Booster Club. The acronym TEAM represents Together Everyone Achieves More. And if we all believe in team, we can make the athletic experience for our scholars that much greater. So tonight we will be covering a few different topics that I feel are important and necessary for us to remain on the same page as a team. For starters, I would like to begin by discussing my role as the athletic director, your role as the booster club, fundraising, Title IX, important relationships, as well as my expectations for you all as our booster club. But first, let me give you a brief introduction of myself. Although many of you do know a bit about me, my background, and my siblings, who all have come through this great Warrensville Heights School District. I was raised in Warrensville Heights from birth and began my school days at Westwood Elementary. It's hard for me knowing that Westwood is closed now because that school gave me the academic foundation that I needed to be successful. I did take a detour out of the district for 9th through 11th grades when I went to St. Peter Chanel, which I'm sure you all know is closed now. But I did return to Warrensville for my senior year, graduated from Warrensville Heights High School in 2001, before attending the University of South Florida on a basketball scholarship. After 4 years at USF, I received a Bachelor's of Science degree in finance. I wasn't quite ready to give up my basketball career just yet, so I pursued a professional career in Europe where I played for 5 seasons. I played 4 years in France, and I also spent one season in Finland. I actually started my own skills training company called The Truth Basketball to give the knowledge that I accumulated over the years back to the young up and coming basketball players. And lastly, this past spring, I completed a 2 year program at Ohio University to receive my master's in athletic administration. As you all know, my role as athletic director is to oversee all of the athletic programs within our school district, which goes for the middle school and the high school. I am also in charge of the athletic budget, which will be provided to me each year. Managing a budget is not easy, and some items that coaches request are not within that budget. This is where you guys, as the Booster Club, can be so helpful to our athletics program. I also approve fundraiser requests by our athletic programs, which include requests from our coaches as well as you as the Booster Club. Any fundraisers that you plan to do inside of the school, they must be approved prior to the start of the fundraiser. My job as AD is also to continue promote growth in our athletic program by adding teams or even new programs. What I mean by adding teams is for a few of our sports, we may only have varsity squads. My job is to help promote participation in all sports so we have the maximum participation from our scholars. It would be great for all of our programs to have freshmen, JV, and varsity teams, but that is not the case here in Warrensville. I will also be communicating with the Booster Club throughout the school year to make sure things are going well and provide any assistance that you may need. As the Athletic Booster Club of Warrensville Heights Athletics, your number one role is to support the athletic program. Your support is vital to our program with your efforts in fundraising, coordinating of events, and helping increase support of the program from parents, community members, as well as alumni. Another role of the Booster Club is to help promote school spirit. As a Booster Club, your efforts go a long way in showcasing the Warrensville Athletics brand, and I would like you to help provide a positive experience for our student athletes and supporters. We all know the state of the economy today and the many cuts that have been made to education in this country. With shrinking budgets, your role is providing financial assistance to our athletic program will not only help pay for items that we want, but also items that our program needs. After accepting the job as athletic director, I asked, how is our athletic booster club? The response I received was a bit shocking regarding how funds are raised by the Booster Club. I was informed that the only funds that are raised by the Booster Club at this time are through the concessions of football and boys basketball games. In order for our athletics program to move forward and continue to grow, we will definitely need the assistance of our Booster Club, and I wanted to mention a few ideas that will help raise a nice amount of money. Raffling off items can be a low-cost, high-reward fundraiser depending on the items that are being raffled. Youth sports have been on the rise the last 5 years, and maybe hosting a youth basketball tournament or even a youth wrestling tournament could be a great way for the Booster Club to raise money for our program. A golf outing would be good as well, even though I don't know how to golf. I know people that do. A silent auction may also be a good way to raise funds, reaching out to local businesses to see who would be willing to donate items to auction off. This next slide sums it all up for the Title IX law. Title IX was a law passed in 1972 that states no person in the country on the basis of sex should be denied benefits or excluded from participation of any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. In layman's terms, any benefits that are given to a boys team must be also given to a comparable girls team. As a Booster Club, be sure that we all understand this law when providing funds to teams for purchasing items. For the Booster Club to grow and achieve the goals that you wish to achieve, I believe that establishing great relationships is a major key to success. Relationships with our local businesses are important because those donations or sponsorship dollars can be incurred every year. Establishing relationships with student athletes is also important because those are the lives that we are affecting on a daily basis. Those relationships in turn will attract parents that are willing to volunteer time to the Booster Club's efforts in order to ensure that his or her child is getting all that they need within athletics. Relationships with the head coaches are also very important because head coaches have a lot of influence over their athletes. If coaches have the feeling that the Booster Club is there to help them, they will in turn help the Booster Club by providing the help of athletes throughout the school year whenever they need. Now understand, even though the Booster Club may provide funds that our coaches and athletes may need for our programs to be successful, the Booster Club does not have the authority to hire or fire coaches, even though some of you may want to at times. As a young athletic director still getting my feet wet within the profession, I see a lot of promise in our athletic program. For all of us to see that promise realized, we must put forth a lot of effort. I will work hard on a daily basis to grow our athletic program and help our athletes and coaches achieve the goals they set for themselves prior to the competition. That is the expectation of me, and here are a few expectations that I have for you as a Booster Club. I expect the Booster Club to be our program's #1 cheerleaders. I expect you to be accountable for everything that goes on within the Booster Club, such as fundraiser money, following district fundraiser policy, and following your own Booster Club policies and procedures. But also understand that the Booster Club does not create policies for the athletic department. I expect you to be organized, and I expect you to be effective. I expect you to be transparent in all that you do. Someone is always watching. And lastly, I want you to be proactive. I'm sure it can be discouraging that more parents are not volunteering their time, but you must remain resilient in your efforts in encouraging them to join. Before I finish, I just wanted to say that we are a team. We are in this together. This Booster Club has been a staple in this athletic department for years, and I would like for that to continue. We must keep the student athletes first. We are all here in the service of our children, and we must show them how to do things the right way and be here to support them. In doing things the right way, we all must understand the role of the Booster Club in the Warrensville Heights athletic program. Like athletes and coaches, the Booster Club must follow the policies and procedures that are set forth by the school district when it comes to things like fundraising. Understanding Title IX and understanding relationships, how important they are in order to be a successful group, will take this Booster Club to the next level. If anyone has any questions about anything that I mentioned in my presentation tonight, please don't hesitate to contact me. I want to thank you all for inviting me to speak to you during your club meeting. Whenever you want to reach me, my contact information is there on the screen. Feel free to contact my office with any concerns or contact me through email, whichever is more convenient for you. Again, I appreciate you all for giving me this opportunity to speak to you today, and I look forward in seeing you all throughout the school year. And as always, go Tigers!